Hello and welcome to the Unexpected List. I'm Will, and with me as always is my little contestant.
Little today, huh?
Yes.
Well, yes, Sarah.
And the way this works is simple. I give Sarah a word or phrase, and she gives me the first 5 board games that come to mind. But she cannot research any of this.
But I can't ask him for help if I really draw a blank.
Yeah, because we can't sit here forever.
Forever, no.
All right, Sarah, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. You know what? I'm going to give you this one 2 different ways so you can...
Okay.
Okay. So this one is positive loop or positive player interaction.
Okay. I like that.
All right, we're back with Sarah's unexpected stack. Sarah, how was this?
This one was a little more challenging because I actually had to remember how games played. Like, so...
She often just looks at the pictures.
I don't know. Sometimes when we do these, my brain is also just on the dying end of I'm done with this. So this one was oddly harder than I thought. I mean, I know we've been having challenges finding games with positive player interactions and loops, but I feel like we have found some. And then I'm looking at our walls and I'm like, I can't think of any of them. But thankfully, I thought of some, and then Will helped me with a few. So let's
see what you found. Number 1.
All right, Ovation. So we love this game in general, but what's really cool is you can visit someone else's concert or attend someone else's concert. You get a benefit, and they get a benefit. I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's the least complex, rewarding thing just for paying attention to other player and their turn.
Right.
Because that's really one of the biggest goals behind a good positive player interaction is that they're doing something and it means something to you in a good way.
And for here, it's thematic. They're literally putting on a concert or a performance or whatever it is. The whole point is you're all musicians and you all want to get better, and oftentimes you get better by listening to other musicians in this case, and so you do, and so you get a cool thing and they get a cool thing. And yeah, I just love that part. Plus, again, just love the whole game in general of making music.
All right, number 2.
Okay. Your Best Life. This is an interesting one that's oddly hard to get a hold of, even though it's by WizKids. It just wasn't really available. Anyways, there's a lot of different ways to play this, which is really cool. Is no matter the player count, you can, well, except maybe solo. Solo is always going to just be solo.
A little different, yeah.
Yeah. But in 2 players and up, you can play it competitively or cooperatively. And at higher player counts, you can play a mix. Well, let's say you have 4 players. 2 people can be playing it as a couple, and the other 2 players could be playing it as singles, and therefore it's still all competitive, but you have a cooperative experience within it. So that's the general reason why I love this game. But what's really cool is you can do things together even when you're playing competitively, such as you can go on vacation together. So you both pay into it, so neither person has to pay the whole amount because it can be expensive to go on a vacation. So you share the cost and you also share the benefit. Additionally, when you're choosing cards for the round to gain the card's effects, if more than one player chooses the same card,
you get likes.
So everybody gets a benefit when more than one player goes on the same card. So that's a very cool positive player.
It makes a very interesting decision space.
Right.
Like, okay, maybe that card isn't the best for me, but that extra like does feed into what I'm trying to do.
Exactly.
Number 3.
All right. Blue Moon City. You're going to have to remind me on this one,
Will. For as old as the game is, there is nothing but positive player interactions in here.
Well, you can do a little denial, but
in denial in helping build stuff, and you can build it too.
That's true.
And once a building's built, everybody gets paid.
Yeah. So the whole thing is that you're trying to rebuild the city, and there's multiple repair spots on each tile. And I go to one, Will goes to another, and let's say we're playing a 3-player game. Another person finishes the 3rd one. Well, everybody gets rewarded for helping rebuild that tile. So it's just positive player interactions there.
Yeah.
You also have denial of trying to build the crystal thingy first.
But you're also all building towards it, so
that's true.
you're trying to get this thing done.
Yeah, so it's just really cool that there's no negative effects. I mean, I think the only thing that'd be really negative is you repair a tile and somebody doesn't participate.
Yeah.
But then they also aren't out anything because they didn't participate in rebuilding that tile.
Well, one of the funny things is also it has the dragon scales, and once all the dragon scales get used up, the dragon scales pay out.
Right.
And that means you get payouts sometimes when it's not
your turn. So that can really help you, especially like if a tile resolves or that resolves not on your turn, you're in better position on your turn to begin it.
Okay, number 4.
We have raising robots. Now this is in general a very, very competitive excuse me, game. Oh shoot, my brain just blanked. What's
Okay, so when it's time to choose energy,
that's right.
There's going to be energy cubes. Now, as you choose which actions you are going to perform, and then that gets revealed, those energy cubes go on the main board, and everybody gets that energy.
Right. So if I pick, totally blanking right now, guess my brain's just done.
Recycling.
Let's say you pick recycling and you put it on one of your cards and it has 3 energy cubes. And that's actually a lot. Let's say it's 2 energy cubes. Well, then recycling on the main board gets 2 energy, and everybody at the table, if they can do recycling, gets that 2 energy to boost that.
Yeah, they may have to spend batteries to make it worth their while, but it's a free extra turn, essentially, in that round.
Yeah, you get to do more. So it's this, everybody's contributing in this shared board to do things. Not everything, but it can.
Yeah.
So that, and then again, it's a really cute game about making really cute robots. So, and it's engine building. So it's really fun there.
Okay, number 5.
Okay, I think I'm just going to leave this one here. Hopefully you can see the side here. It's collab. This is a really interesting, I don't know how to explain it, but it is kind of engine building. But there's this, wow, my brain is really dying. It's, okay, so the cool thing is you're putting out these minions. You're kind of like a mad scientist, kind of. It's kind of a mix between magic and science.
You are a mad scientist.
You're basically a mad scientist. So there's this board that has these towers. It's like spokes on a wheel. And you're putting your minions on these tower spots because then they can affect the 2 board spaces on either side of this tower because it's all flat. I assume if it was 3-dimensional, it'd be going up in the sky. But anyways, let's say you want to take the left space. So you put a minion here. To whatever you're going to do on this, you add up all the numbers of all minions, not just yours, but everybody's who's there. And that boosts your ability to do whatever it is you're going to do on that tile. And your minion's going to stay there on that tower for a while. So let's say somebody goes to the same tile or the tile on the other side. They also benefit from your minion. So you both want to put out your best stuff and not. You have to.
It's a balance of, okay, how well am I helping both myself and everybody else?
Right, because you won't be able to necessarily take that guy. I mean, you won't be able to take him away right away. Right. Like your next turn, you could remove him potentially. But it's going to be there for a whole round, so other people will be able to benefit. So if you put like a double whatever red symbol, whatever the red symbol was, everyone else can benefit from that because that's a really good,
Yeah, so they can build their crazy machine.
Right.
That's, well, the whole point of the game.
Yep. So I was really surprised in such a competitive game that it had that interesting shared resource aspect of it. So
yeah. It was funny in a 2-player game, we kind of found ourselves clumping.
Yeah, well, it's another one of those, the board's too big for 2 players. So to get the best benefit, you kind of have to stick together kind of thing. All right, Will, do you have anything else to add for positive player interaction?
The one thing that came to mind was the game Port Royal.
Oh, yeah.
Port Royal was, you kind of want people to have really good turns because when they're done taking their turn and taking their stuff, what they've revealed from their cards becomes a market for everybody else.
And if someone else buys on your turn, they have to pay you a money first.
Yes.
So if a card costs 3, they actually have to have 4 money, 1 to give to you and 3 to pay to the bank for the card. So it had some really interesting positive player interactions of, you don't want someone to bust if you've got a lot of money, because if you can buy a card from them, then the beginning of your next turn is better.
Yes, because now you have more ability.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a nice way to layer all the positive player interactions so that it's both positive for you on their turn and
Right.
positive for them on your turn that's still their turn.
Yes. It's the fact that they have phase 1 is theirs, and then phase 2 is kind of that open market type
Yes.
of thing that everybody gets to participate in. Yep.
All right, and that'll do it for us. And this has been the Unexpected List. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach out to us on the various social media platforms at
Rolling with 2, that's TWO. We're on Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Discord, we have a channel on Tabletop Express. Check the show notes for the invite link.
If you have time, check out the other content Nanaman has found for you, because remember, he's rolling with you.